Nearly 2 million Americans get a cancer diagnosis every year, and every year, hundreds of thousands die from the disease.
The risk of death is particularly high for stomach cancer. The odds of surviving past 5 years, just 36%. In children, the National Cancer Institute says stomach cancer is extremely rare, but for Ava Holly, it's a part of her life. Both Ava's dad and her 16-year-old sister had a rare form of stomach cancer caused by the CDH1 gene mutation. Both had their stomachs removed. Last year, the family found out Ava had cancer cells in her stomach, but they were hopeful stomach removal surgery could wait. A trip to St. Jude Research Hospital for a routine checkup proved otherwise.
He told me that at this point it's time to take the stomach out because there is a lot of inflammation and there were a lot of cells. I was devastated. It's like Zoe, and now Corey just made a year, and it's like, bam, now it's Ava's turn.
It may sound extreme, but doctors say for people with the CDH1 genetic mutation like Ava, removing the stomach is recommended even if they don't have cancer.
Ava had her surgery in the summer of 2023. Her family says she's gone back to school, and the family's most recent checkups show they are cancer-free.
Reporter Kristin Crowley shares what you need to know about the deadly gene.
Family photos can remind us of happy times. They can also remind us of what we've lost.
That was a struggle, those 8 months, watching her go through. She was vomiting, the symptoms, it was just always in and out of the hospital.
Priscilla Bertine was just 14 years old when her mom died from stomach cancer at 42. 2 years later, the disease would claim another family member.
And that one was, Priscilla, come to the hospital, say your goodbyes to your uncle. I'm like, what? He has the same cancer as your mom.
And you didn't even know he had cancer. So your mom had the stomach cancer, your uncle had the stomach cancer. Was that it?
No.
My sister Dolores passed away in 2015 from gastric cancer. My mother in 2009, as well as gastric cancer.
Socorro Velo and Teresa Rivera are Priscilla's cousins.
The three of them passed away.
Combined, they lost 7 family members to stomach cancer. Their doctors at the University of Kansas Health System recommend the family get genetic testing.
They had told me, this is an aggressive form of cancer that runs in your family. This gene is unpredictable.
The gene is called CDH1. It's a genetic mutation that means a person has an 80% chance of getting stomach cancer. Teresa and Socorro tested positive, and within a few months, they found out they didn't just have the gene, they had stomach cancer.
I was scared because I didn't want to die, and it's a death sentence, basically.
8 family members in less than a decade diagnosed with stomach cancer. Priscilla learned she could be next when she also tested positive for CDH1.
I knew I had to take it serious because I watched my mom. My uncle he was gone so short, and all the other family members behind them. I knew I couldn't risk it.
Not risking it meant only one option. Doctors would remove her stomach.
The question I feel like everyone's going to ask is, how can you live without a stomach?
Dr. Mazen Alkaspuls is a surgical oncologist at the University of Kansas Health System. He not only treated Priscilla, he's removed hundreds of stomachs in his career, 10 of them within the last 5 years, to prevent cancer.
What happens without a stomach, and believe me, the body knows it, there's major adaptation that goes on in your body. What happens is food goes directly in the small intestine.
Doctors connect the small intestine directly to the esophagus. The intestine then takes on the stomach's job of breaking down food. After that, patients have to drastically change their diets, avoiding sugar and not drinking liquids right after eating.
There must be pretty extreme reasons to remove someone's stomach.
Absolutely. It's very rare to remove somebody's stomach for benign disease. Usually it's for cancer, and it's for bad cancers.
That was what happened with Socorro and Teresa. But in Priscilla's case, it was a preventative measure because of that CDH1 gene mutation.
You kind of are, in a way, removing a benign stomach because, there's no cancer there. You're doing it prophylactically to prevent a cancer from occurring.
Because odds are that cancer will come.
Yes, it's very similar to women who get mastectomies when they're BRCA1.
The BRCA gene increases a woman's risk of getting breast cancer, leading some to surgically remove their breasts, even if they don't have the disease. It can be a life-saving procedure, just like removing one's stomach, especially since stomach cancer is the third leading cause of cancer deaths in the world. That's in part because it is difficult to detect. By the time the cancer is found, it's typically too late. Early testing could save lives.
What's stopping everyone in the country from getting genetic testing?
Really, it's cost. You know, if your insurance company doesn't pay for it, it's a lot out of pocket. And for probably most people, it's not affordable.
Priscilla's insurance did cover the genetic testing cost because of her strong family history. Her scopes and scans all looked normal, but she didn't want to roll the dice. In 2019, she had her stomach removed. It was a good thing she did.
I found out I had stomach cancer that whole entire time.
You had no symptoms.
No symptoms.
If you hadn't had your stomach removed, what do you think would have happened?
Probably would have been gone in a year or maybe less.
A feeling Teresa and Socorro echo.
I wouldn't have been here. I'd be dead. My family would be having one of these of me and him on them.
Instead, they're living a relatively normal life, an opportunity many of their family members never got.
What goes through your head about if they would have had this knowledge then?
They would still be here. Sorry. She would be able to be a grandma. Would be able to be at all the functions, all the events that she missed. Just to my boys and my family.
Priscilla and her cousins are raising awareness about stomach cancer with a group called Debbie's Dream Foundation. The nonprofit is pushing for Congress to invest more funding towards gastric cancer research.
If you have a family history of stomach cancer, the doctors we spoke to say you should push for the CDH1 genetic test. Children of parents with the gene mutation have a 50% chance of having the same mutation.